Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Tuesday, October the 28th. This is the week of Halloween. In fact, we're going to talk about a special, I guess we could say a Halloween celebration, which is going to be tonight. I want to introduce you to JOAN STACK from the State Historical Society. Good to have you. Last week you were here promoting the Lincoln
exhibit for the library.
Yeah. Now today you're wearing the State Historical Society hat, and
That's
you
right.
have a special event tonight.
We do. It's a free family event at the State Historical Society, which is on the ground floor of Ellis Library on the MU campus. And at 5:30, kids can come to the Historical Society anytime between 5:30 and 7:30, and they can stroll the halls and trick-or-treat through Missouri history.
Really? So when you say trick-or-treat through Missouri history, what are the kids going to find?
Well, they'll stop at different stations and learn a little bit about Halloween history, a little bit about Missouri pumpkins, Missouri ghosts, Missouri bats. The kids will have a chance to go through the kids' cave and learn a little bit about caves in Missouri. So we've got kind of Halloween-themed historical booths on different things. And
now you said Missouri Halloween.
Well, it's going to be Halloween history in general.
Okay.
We're planning on having a fortune teller. That was a big part of Halloween in the past. So we'll be doing a little bit of everything. But the brave, now you don't have to go in if you're not brave, but the brave can visit the Ghostly Gallery and meet a couple of Missouri ghosts.
The ghosts of the gallery?
The ghosts of the gallery.
Now, is this for kids or for adults?
This is primarily for kids. Now, we found that some of the little ones might be too afraid to go in the Ghostly Gallery. It's not particularly scary, but ghosts will appear.
So who's going to be in the Ghosts of Gallery?
Well, there's two ghosts, and they're related to Missouri's two most famous artists. The first ghost they'll meet is actually here with us in the studio.
You brought a ghost with you today?
I did. There is a wonderful volunteer by the name of Gary Behan who occasionally appears as a ghost. And today he is here as a ghost, the ghost of Thomas Hart Benton.
Oh, is that difficult to do, Gary, to become a ghost from a real person?
It sometimes is difficult, you know.
Okay, but you are Thomas Hart Benton's ghost. Okay, what are you going to be doing tonight with the kids?
Well, I think we're going to try to teach them a little bit about me as an artist, even though I'm no longer with them. And I think I'm going to have one of my lithographs there. And I think I'm going to ask them if they can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to be painting, but they might not be able to recognize it since they're not in the spirit world. Yeah. So it might be a little bit fuzz.
Now, is it difficult, Thomas Hart Benton, is it difficult to come into this plane of reality? Since you died, back in 1975?
I sure did.
Back in your studio?
Yes.
You were finishing
a mural for the Country Music Hall of Fame. I sure was.
Yeah, and you were finished with that mural, and that was it?
That was it.
Okay. When you look back over your life, what would you say was the greatest accomplishment of Thomas Hart Benton?
Well, I think obviously the murals, but that goes back to my childhood I spent with my father on the campaign trail in southwest Missouri, around the Osho. He was a lawyer and he ran for Congress, and going on the stump with him, going out and hearing him speak to real voters, not like today when you see him on TV.
Oh, I wish, I was talking about that this weekend. I wish that we could go back to campaigning like it was in your day.
I agree.
And no more of the 10-second sound bites on television and the mudslinging, but people come out to hear the candidates in person with their foot up on a stump. That's why it was called stumping, right? Or up on a hay wagon, as you said, and they tell you what they think, and you ask them questions about the issues, and they've got to answer you right there.
Right, and they don't have anybody run the interference for them.
Right, and they can't go get some soundbite and put it on there.
And they're not looking at a monitor to respond. So
right, so that's the way, that's what we want to turn it back.
That's right.
And we are in campaign season, so very appropriate. But in the gallery, kids will sit down, they will meet the ghost of Thomas Hart Benton, and then they will move over to the George Caleb Bingham Gallery, and there they will meet the ghost of Eliza Bingham, the wife of George Caleb Bingham.
So Eliza Bingham is going to be there.
Yeah, so there will be two ghosts.
Did you bring her in here today?
I did not. She's not here with us today.
Couldn't work it out with Eliza, huh?
But she will be talking a little bit about George Caleb Bingham and the Civil War, because there's a large painting in that gallery having to do with the Civil War.
So this is really a pretty special event, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an opportunity to learn a little bit about some things in a fun way. So it may be more fun to hear about artists and history from the point of view of a ghost than maybe hear it from, you know, a docent or a stuffy professor. So we're hoping to make history a little bit fun for the kids.
Is it, Joan, is it hard to pull an event like this together when you've got to work with live people, and then you also have you've got to make contact with the spirit world and the ghosts there?
Well, and you know, we have a wonderful person who is going to do a whole thing on the history of ghosts in Missouri, one of the stations in the trick-or-treat part. And I will mention there will be free candy at each station, so you will need to bring your bag and get some candy. We'll also have some non-candy treats for those kids that are not interested in eating candy. But she has got a wonderful presentation in which she talks about ghosts that have actually been sighted in Missouri. The ghost of Harry Truman, for example, occasionally appears apparently at his home in Independence.
In Independence, Missouri.
Yeah, and she'll mention some of the ghosts in Columbia. The ghost of Senior Hall was supposed to be a Civil War soldier. So some of these...
and the ghost of Columbia College,
yes,
too.
Well, it's Senior Hall at Stevens College, but there may be one in Columbia College, too.
I thought there was one at Columbia College.
And there's ghosts associated with the Devil's Icebox, all kinds of things. So
isn't there a ghost associated with the library, too?
I think so.
Library?
I don't know if she has that ghost, but she can tell you about it, because apparently it's a woman. She shelves books, and you can hear her sometimes.
Well, the reason I remember that it was the library is because this was many years ago when we were doing Pepper and Friends. We had a group on that went into the library with a recorder, and they actually recorded some sounds. When they say it was the ghost, all right. But if you want to be a part of this, it's tonight, October the 28th, 5:30 to 7:30 at State Historical.
Yes, and really aimed at kids, especially elementary school and younger. If you have the courage to meet the ghost,
all right,
please come.
JOAN Stack, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have your happy hauntings there, Thomas.
Thank you.
Hart Benton.
Thank you.
Actually, you're not haunting anybody, are you? Nice spirit.
That's nice.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just appearing.
All right. We're out of time for today. Tomorrow, Weavers and Spinners and Loaves and Fishes. Our program directed by Travis McMillen, Reynolds Journalism Institute. Audio is Pat Akers from KBIA. Our floor director is Lowell Thomas, and our assistant producer and guest coordinator, Uncle James Mauser. Drop me an email. I'd love to hear from you. pepperp.missouri.edu. Bye-bye.